Hey guys, it's Chris. Welcome to the next video in our Adventure Awaits series. We're going to continue to be releasing our flat towing guide series on Monday with Dan. So if you haven't already checked out the first video in that series on picking a towed vehicle, I'd really encourage you to do that. There's a lot of great info there. But throughout the week, we're going to be releasing some other content. And so we're going to start by taking a look at some of the best places to travel and camp and RV around the continental United States. And we're located here in Colorado, our facilities, our offices, so selfishly that's kind of where we decided to start. And we can't wait to kind of go over some of these spots with you. They're beautiful locations. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first up, we have probably one of the more recognizable locations when you think about Colorado, and that's Garden of the Gods. Not only does it have obviously incredible name recognition, but you've probably seen plenty of images of the natural sandstone formations that are in the park. And with good reason. It's just an incredible spot. Some of those formations can get up to about 300 feet. It's right in the shadow of Pike's Peak and the Rocky Mountain Range, so you get that gorgeous snow-capped view behind it. You also have just an amazing amount of wildlife that's present there and some very easy hiking trails, so it's a great spot to go if you have family, you're traveling with family, you're going with a group of people. It's just a very leisurely spot that's very accessible. And as an added bonus, there's actually a great little RVing park and campsite that is in the park itself. It's on the premises, so it's very easy to get in and out of. So again, great spot to get started at. Next up, we have another location in Colorado Springs, the Broadmoor Hotel and Seven Falls. They're located right near each other, so I kind of lumped them together. Seven Falls, I'm a sucker for a good waterfall, so I had to include that on the list. It is a bit of a strenuous hike to get up there, but once you're up there and you get to take in that view, it's really worthwhile. But if you are in the mood for something more leisurely, the Broadmoor Hotel grounds are open to the public, so you can wander around there. Really incredible. The architecture, it was built in 1918, so that actually makes it the world's longest running 5-star resort, which is really cool. And as a result, they have a lot of historical artifacts that are on display, both Colorado history and American history, just kind of peppered throughout the ground. So if you're a history buff or a history nerd like myself, that's also really fun. And then there's a great little restaurant on the premises too. So if you get hungry at any point in the day, it's a great spot to check out. Third on our list, we're going to take a look at another spot in Colorado Springs, Pike's Peak and the Manitou Incline. So obviously Pike's Peak is another spot that's very famous, very synonymous with Colorado. It's not our tallest 14er, but it is definitely our most famous and one of our most accessible. So there's a few ways to get to the top. You can hike it if you so choose, you can drive, or you can take something called the Pike's Peak Cog Railway to the top. I would definitely encourage taking the train. It's designed as a little rustic tramway. And it's really incredible. It's designed for kind of taking the scenic route. So definitely get a chance to check that out. Also kind of located in that same area, we have Manitou Springs, the city. And within Manitou Springs is something called the Manitou Incline, which is actually very famous within Colorado, not necessarily outside of it, but it's mainly known for being a very strenuous hike with an incredible view at the top. So if you feel up to it, and obviously I know that some people are not really into the strenuous hikes, but if you are, the Manitou Incline is definitely one of those things that's going to earn you some bragging rights when you get to the top. Just an incredible view, and the way back down is much easier than the way up, I promise. Next up on our list, we're going to veer southwest a little bit, and we are going to talk about Mesa Verde National Park. Now, Mesa Verde is famous for its cliff dwellings. There's over 600 of them, and they're famous for good reason, not just because of the number of dwellings that are there, but also because they're one of the most well-preserved Native American sites in all of North America, not just the United States. So that's really incredible. It's just a very clear picture into the life of the ancestral Puebloan people. The site was abandoned around 1300 AD, so it is very old, but it's just incredibly well preserved. And again, an amazing spot to just be able to wander around and appreciate history. And as an added bonus, there's actually a campground not far away, about 4 miles outside of the park, called Moorfield Campground. So if you want to camp or RV kind of in that general vicinity, that's a great spot to stay. And there's actually more than just the cliff dwellings there. There's over 5,000 archaeological sites and finds within the park. So it's a spot you can spend a lot of time in, and we'd encourage you to do so if you get the chance. Fifth on our list, we're going to look at the Great Sand Dunes. This is kind of a favorite spot of a lot of Colorado nature photographers, and it's with good reason. It's kind of framed in a unique way. You've got the snow-capped peaks on one side. You've got a lot of lush vegetation on pretty much every other side. It's really kind of unique as far as deserts in the American Southwest go, just because of the way it's framed. But it's also got some of the tallest sand dunes in North America, so that's really cool too. Yeah, on a personal note, if you ever get a chance to kind of go out at night, that's really fun because the stars are so clear. There's no light pollution or anything else. It's just an extremely clear, extremely serene place to be. And finally, as an added bonus, we're gonna look at my personal favorite spot in Colorado, and that is Hanging Lake. It's located a little east off I-70, kind of tucked away in the mountains. It is a bit of a hike. It's not quite as strenuous as, let's say, Manitou Incline is, but it is a hike, but so worthwhile when you get to the top. The lake is kind of sitting, as its name kind of implies, it's sitting right on the edge of a cliff. To the point where some of the water, it's not quite a waterfall, but some of the water kind of spills over if there's any kind of movement or anything like that. It's just absolutely incredible. It's so gorgeous, so green. You can hike up a little bit further to the spring, which is also kind of cool. The trail's been closed for the past few years, but it's finally reopened, so it is really worthwhile to go. As someone who's been to almost 40 states and many countries across a couple of different continents here, again, it's one of my favorite spots, so that does say something. And if you're ever in Colorado, I'd encourage checking it out. Thanks guys for joining us as we've looked at some of these spots across Colorado. If you get a chance to go visit any of them, we'd love to see photos. You can post them on our social media pages. We'd love to see that and be able to celebrate that with you. We're gonna look at some other places, some other states, some other locations around the United States in the coming weeks that are also really great. So if you're not coming to Colorado anytime soon, don't feel left out. We're gonna be able to get you some spots to visit that are gonna be just as cool. But if you ever are in Colorado, definitely make sure to check out these spots, and don't hesitate to give us a shout. You can call, chat, email. We love to have folks stop by our facility as well, so you're always welcome to do that if you're in the area. But in the meantime, guys, happy RVing.